Hello and welcome to Simon Fraser University's Convocation June 2026. The ceremony will begin shortly. Please find and stay in your seat and keep the aisleways clear. This is required by fire regulation. For your enjoyment and safety during the ceremony, please listen to a few important announcements. In case of an emergency evacuation, follow the directions of the event personnel to the assembly point, which is located down the stairs behind you on the track and field. Please proceed slowly and carefully. Those with accessibility needs should proceed to Halpert Center, located northeast of Convocation Mall. Today's ceremony schedule and program book can be found online. Please use the QR code with your phone camera app to view the information. Reusable water bottles, SFU blankets, and other gifts are available for purchase at the Spirit Shop in the Meg Benson Center, which is on your right. Near there, you will find a water refill station too. Flower bouquets are available for purchase from the back of Convocation Mall and from the north side of Freedom Square. Professional graduation photos are also available for purchase from the James Douglas Study Area located under the stairs behind me. If you need to leave at any point during the ceremony, please use the exits located at the back of Convocation Mall and ensure you have your hand stamped. If you require assistance or have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask one of our student ushers who are dressed in black gowns. And on this celebratory day, we encourage you to share your photos and messages on social media using #MySFUGrad. Thank you. to present members of the 6-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band. Friends, Convocation June 2026 will begin shortly. For your enjoyment and safety during the ceremony, please listen to a few important announcements. As a courtesy to our graduates and guests, please remain seated and keep the aisleways clear for the duration of the ceremony. This is required by fire regulation. In the case of an emergency evacuation, follow the directions of event personnel to the assembly point, which is located down the stairs behind you on the track and field. Please proceed slowly and carefully. Those with accessibility needs should proceed to the Halpern Center, located northeast of Convocation Mall. Today's ceremony schedule and program book can be found online. Please use the QR code with your phone camera app to view the information. In consideration of other guests, we ask that you refrain from conversation during the ceremony and please put cell phones on silent. And for those near and afar, we encourage you to share your photos and messages on social media using #MySFUGrad. Friends, the ceremony is about to begin. Please turn your attention to the screens. I'm pleased to introduce the graduating class of June 2026. Friends, if you're able, please rise for the platform party.
Thank you. You may be seated. I'd just like to thank you all for coming out today to support the graduates of 2026. I'd like to welcome you on the Musqueam unceded territory. I hope everyone enjoys their special day today. Haichka.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And welcome, everyone. Please join me in thanking the Coastal Wolf Pack for drumming us in and getting us started in such a good way. Aishka, thank you. And of course, no ceremony at Simon Fraser University would be complete without the piping of the world-famous SFU pipe band. Please join me in thanking them for piping us in. I now invite Olympia Tamasta, who is an alumnus from the Faculty of Communication, Art and Technology, to lead us in the singing of O Canada. For those of you in Convocation Mall and online, please rise if you are able for the singing of our national anthem. Good morning.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. I now declare June Convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Today's program book, which includes the ceremony schedule and a list of all the graduates, can be found, you guessed it, online. Madam President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, especially graduands, friends and families, my name is Tamara Vrooman, and I am the Chancellor of Simon Fraser University. We're delighted and honored to have you join us for Convocation as we celebrate Simon Fraser University's 60th anniversary here together. In attendance today are a number of distinguished guests in the audience and on the platform, including members of Senate, vice presidents, deans, and faculty. I'd like to particularly acknowledge the Honourable Janet Austin, who will be conferred an honorary doctorate of laws this morning. Welcome, Janet. We're also privileged to be joined by honorary degree recipient Dr. Penny Ballum, who's with us on the platform today. And from our Board of Governors, our Board Chair, Carol Herbert, and board members, Evan Akatola, Kamal Basra, and Aidan Goff. Please join me in welcoming them. We're gathered here this morning, this sunny morning. I can tell you it wasn't like that all week, so we're very, very lucky here today. Joining us on the traditional, unceded, and continuously occupied territories of the Coquitlam, Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. On this shared territory, on which our Burnaby campus now sits, there are two Indigenous languages that were traditionally spoken, Hunkaminam, and Squamish. We're privileged to gather here on what is known in English as Burnaby Mountain, but which was first known as Thuclacwayton by the Squamish, which means where the arbutus bark peels in the spring. And Saltooth is the Tsleil-Waututh name for Burnaby Mountain. I speak these languages today to contribute to their revitalization, to enhance our collective learning, and to pay respect to those who have stewarded these lands since time immemorial. Well, it's my particular privilege to welcome all of you, the class of 2026, to this morning's convocation. This is my final set of convocations as Chancellor. For the past 6 years, I've been privileged to be part of this very unique and special institution in a role where I saw the true depth of excellence, achievement, courage, and sacrifice that's embodied in each and every one of you as graduates and as part of this special community. It's been inspiring to meet so many diligent students and to hear about their passions and their dreams for the future. To see faculty members pursuing innovative research that makes a real difference for people and the communities in which they live. And to work with countless staff who tirelessly keep things running at our university 24/7 so that we may have the privilege of working, studying, and teaching here. I want to thank and recognize SFU's incredible students, faculty, staff, leadership, Board of Governors, Senate, alumni, elders past and present, for welcoming me into this community and guiding and supporting me during my tenure. I also want to take a moment to recognize SFU's incoming Chancellor and honorary degree recipient, Dr. Elio Luongo. I want to thank Elio for choosing to serve this university in such a meaningful way. I've known Elio for many, many years. He will be a tireless advocate and supporter for our institution, and I know you will benefit from working with him. As someone with a degree in history, I've always believed that reflecting on the past is key to understanding this moment. When we face challenging times, it can give us confidence to see that those before us may have faced something similar, and yet they persevered and even thrived. So as I reflect on my time as Chancellor, and as you graduates get ready to leave SFU and embark on the next chapter of your lives, I want to take a moment to take us back, way back, to May 20th, 1967. I'm happy to say, before I was born. What happened on May 20th, 1967? It was the date of SFU's very first convocation ceremony. Our university admitted its first students in 1965, and 2 years later, we were celebrating our first graduating class. I guess they were super keeners, hey? They did it in 2 years. By all accounts, it was an exciting time to be on this campus, a new university specifically created for the times and full of hope. Off campus, however, May 1967 was a very challenging and difficult time in the world. A war in the Middle East would erupt a few weeks later between Egypt, Israel, Jordan, and Syria. The emerging world power of China would successfully test a hydrogen bomb, becoming the world's fourth nuclear power. Canada was led at that time by Lester Pearson, a prime minister known for his international work and reputation. And there was non-stop talk about the wonders of this new technology, a technology that threatened to make human work obsolete. as the world's first automated banking machine, ATM, was introduced in London, England to dispense cash, you remember cash, 24/7. It was an unsettling time, but it sounds sort of familiar, doesn't it? And yet, in the midst of those profound challenges and change, a new university was created, and its first convocation ceremony was held on this very spot. And it boldly and confidently set its graduates off into the world. I went back through the archives and found the Chancellor's speech given on that day by Simon Fraser University's inaugural Chancellor, Dr. Gordon Shrum. As I read the speech for the first time, with its typewritten font, its red pen notes in the margin, I couldn't help but feel a sense of familiarity, of comfort even, as I read his words. Dr. Shrum was a physicist, and I can tell you he was true to his professional training. He saw the world as it was, not as some wished it to be. Niceties and platitudes were not his jam. He wrote very specifically and precisely about the challenges ahead and didn't sugarcoat anything. He told the first graduating class, as university graduates, you may find your ultimate goals are as yet poorly defined, because they are, and they should be, well beyond your immediate grasp. For you will find that as you leave this university, life is an adventure in experience more than it is an effort in achievement. But through it all, your goal should be to look back on everything you have done with pride and to look forward with hope. To look backward with pride and forward with hope. Dr. Shrum showed that the purpose of a university education is to prepare us for the successful journey of life. And graduation, your graduation today, is only the beginning. He believed, as I do, that the best way to navigate that journey is to have spent some time being challenged and pursuing personal excellence. And to have done that, ideally, at a university, and if you're lucky, at this university. Simon Fraser University is a place that has always been about the relentless pursuit of knowledge and about sharing that knowledge in all of its forms. A place that's committed to providing excellent learning, teaching, research, and community for its students. In 1967, when that first graduating class left Convocation Mall, they went out into a very uncertain world. But they went out with the experience of pursuing excellence, with the pride of that achievement, and with collective hope for the future. I don't need to enumerate all of the challenges that face graduates today. But I do think, just as those 60 years went before us, you have the opportunity to follow in their footsteps. It is my sincere wish and belief that you will look back on your time at SFU with pride as you equally look forward to the future with hope. As Chancellor of this university, it's been an honor and a privilege to be a small part of that journey with you. On behalf of everyone at Simon Fraser University, our faculty, staff, and alumni, let me take this moment to offer you, the class of 2026, our sincerest congratulations. Congratulations, everyone. It is now my pleasure to call on the president of our university, Dr. Joy Johnson, to give her convocation address. Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chancellor. Honored guests, graduands, it is a privilege to stand before you today on the traditional unceded territories of our host nations, and I want to say welcome. I want to say welcome to the parents, to the grandparents, to the aunts, the uncles, the siblings, the friends, the loved ones, the little ones, and everyone who is joining us today. But of course, the biggest welcome to our graduands. It is wonderful to have you with us today. And I would really want to express my deepest thanks to Tamara for her words of wisdom. And I, in particular, want to thank her for her advice and her guidance over the past 6 years. She really is a hard act to follow. In reflecting on Tamara's words and her impact on SFU, I've been thinking a lot about leadership, what leadership truly means. And looking around the world today, right now, we're seeing examples of very, very bad leadership. I think you can all imagine who I'm thinking of, and you might be thinking of the same person. And I have to say, it can be easy to point to bad leadership and say, well, I wouldn't do that. But what makes a good leader? That can often be harder to describe. When I was younger, I used to think that only certain types of people could be leaders. People who gave orders, people who knew all the answers, people who were the loudest in the room. But over the years, I have had the privilege of working with and learning from incredible leaders, and I've realized that there are many ways that leadership can show up in day-to-day lives. I've learned from Tamara that leadership means sitting quietly and listening until you find the perfect moment to share your ideas and shift the conversation into a new direction. I've learned from our SFU's Indigenous Executive Lead, Chris Satacton-Lewis, as well as from many Indigenous leaders over the years, that leadership means nothing about us without us. Even if you're making decisions that will affect when you are making decisions that will affect groups of people, it is your responsibility to include those people as part of the decision-making process. And from working with SFU student leaders, I've learned the importance of relentless advocacy when it comes to issues that matter most. Student advocacy on issues like mental health supports, the climate crisis, equity and inclusion. This has led to real and lasting change over the years at Simon Fraser University, and I am grateful. I am grateful to the students, past and present, who have participated in that work. Our goal at SFU is to ensure that students leave this institution not only with a degree, but with the skills they need to be global citizens and build an inclusive and sustainable future for all. And that includes leadership skills, which I know you all have developed during your time at the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. FAST is our largest faculty with an incredible diversity of programming. In the audience today, we have graduates from French, Indigenous Studies, political science, linguistics, and so much more. And although this is a diverse set of classes, I know that your time at SFU has helped you develop the skills you need to speak up on issues that you care about. Whether your leadership looks like running for political office, advocating for lasting reconciliation, or studying society to help shape it for a better future. Good leadership requires critical and strategic thinking about the challenges ahead of us and the courage to add your voice to the conversation. And I know that you will look for those opportunities and take advantage of them. So, very soon each of you will be officially admitted to your degrees, and you're going to move on to a new chapter of your life. And you'll have the opportunity to think about what kinds of leaders you want to be, about the leaders that the world needs most at this moment. And as you do, I want to remind you that you have the skills that you need. You have a community of alumni, faculty, and staff to support you. So no matter where you go from here, please know that everyone who has been part of your time here at SFU, part of your journey here, is so very proud of you. So thank you, and I want to express my hearty congratulations to all of you. Madam Chancellor, it's now my honor to invite Alexander Hodali, who is graduating today with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, for his Graduand address. Manager of SFU's undergraduate academic journal of political science and past president of the Political Science Student Union, Alexander's research focuses on international relations in the Middle East. He will begin a master's degree in politics and international studies at the University of Cambridge this September. Please join me in welcoming Alexander.
Writing a meaningful speech is difficult. I'll be honest with you, it was tempting to go with the classic graduation cliches, a couple of jokes about pulling all-nighters or turning in assignments at midnight. The truth is, I could very well spend the next 5 minutes speaking of myself, and not many of you would probably be surprised. I'm sure it would look great on LinkedIn. However, today, I will be discussing a topic far more meaningful than my accolades. I believe the most appropriate message to share, especially in times of appalling human suffering, is the importance of using our privilege as a responsibility. I'll begin by sharing a number with you all. 18,489. 18,489 is a lot of students. It could probably fill this graduation hall 10 times over. But that's not how many students are graduating this year. 18,489 is a conservative estimate of the number of students who have been killed thus far in what the United Nations has designated as Israel's genocide of Palestinians. Can you imagine? Everyone here sitting today, gone, erased without the opportunity to ever dream of a degree, let alone a future. Imagine being in their position as students, seeing your siblings starve to death on your right and your university blown up on your left. It is unfathomable for us here in Canada. But in many, many other countries around the world, perhaps the home country of your family or your friends, it is the reality. We have had the immense privilege of studying here and building a life in Canada. There are millions of young adults around the world with the exact same drive, the exact same intellect, the exact same potential we are celebrating here in this room today, who are currently surrounded by starvation and death instead of a campus. I'll share a quote from the late academic Edward Said, who best articulates our new responsibility. He said that nothing is more reprehensible than those habits of mind in the intellectual that induce avoidance. That characteristic turning away from a difficult and principled position which you know to be the right one, but which you decide not to take. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This is a graduation ceremony, not a human rights lecture. But this is about graduation. With these degrees, we have a level of education and responsibility we didn't have yesterday. Tomorrow, when we all wake up and think about our next steps, that quote will stand. Will we turn away from the difficult and principled position? I look around this room and I see an incredible amount of talent, intellect, and capability. I know not everyone here shares my identity or my thoughts, but I am asking you to join me in turning our privilege into a shared responsibility. How that responsibility manifests will be different for us all. For some of you, your responsibility is rooted in a parent who immigrated here and worked 3 jobs so you could study. For others, it's a local community you want to heal, a broken legal system you want to rewrite, or Indigenous sovereignty you want to uphold right here in Canada. You do not have to carry my history to stand for humanity. but you do have to decide what your education is for. Because staying neutral in the face of any human suffering isn't objective. It is a choice to let the status quo win. Thank you. Thank you. There's a trap that many fall into, a false dichotomy too many of us believe. The idea that you must either use your education to build a career or use it to build a more just world. You can do both. It is just not the easy path. I challenge each and every one of my talented, capable colleagues here today to join me in turning our privilege into a responsibility. To choose the difficult, principled position. The genocide and ethnic cleansing being committed by Israel is not the first to occur, it is not the only one occurring, and it will be far from the last unless we change. One day, the atrocities of our time will be in the textbooks. We have the chance to tell our children that we stood against them, and our children will pass that courage down, standing against whatever atrocity occurs in their lifetime. It is easy for us to sit here and say we are against genocide, against discrimination, against war, and against inequality, against human suffering. But the bigger question, the one that will define your legacy, inspire your children, and give you peace in your final moments will not be what you said you were against. It will be, what did you do? Thank you, and free Palestine. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alexander, for those powerful words. As part of convocation, in addition to conferring degrees on our graduates, the university also confers honorary degrees. Degrees are awarded to distinguished individuals in recognition of their scholarly, scientific, or artistic achievement, or in recognition of exceptional contribution to the public good through professional or philanthropic activity. Their achievements celebrate our university's values and serve as an inspiration for all of us. Simon Fraser University's honorary degree is the highest honor presented by our university. To present the honorary degree candidate, Janet Austin, I'm pleased to welcome Dr. Mary O'Brien. Mary is the Vice Provost and Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies and a Professor of Linguistics in the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. Dr. O'Brien.
Madam Chancellor, in this time of increasing global turbulence, it is my sincere privilege to present British Columbia's 30th Lieutenant Governor, Janet Austin, whose career is a testament to the unifying and transformative power of purpose, humility, and kindness. A champion of equity and diversity, democratic engagement, and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, she has made it her life's work to uphold and advance the very best of Canadian values. Raised in Alberta, she graduated in English from the University of Calgary and spent her early career in the public sector before moving west and joining BC Housing in 1989. There, she discovered a passion and aptitude for community service that led to a 15-year tenure as CEO of YWCA Metro Vancouver, where she expanded services and built the organization's reputation as a respected voice for social justice, gender equity, and social enterprise. As Lieutenant Governor from 2018 to 2025, she distinguished herself as a champion for reconciliation, launching the BC Reconciliation Awards and elevating the profile of Indigenous art, culture, and language revitalization. She also used her platform to promote participation in civil society, establishing the Lieutenant Governor's Youth Advisory Council and the BC Journalism Fellowship to encourage in-depth reporting in an age of disinformation. Throughout her career, she served numerous organizations committed to improving the lives of others. She continues to support initiatives focused on climate action, upholding democracy, and constructive dialogue. Today, she is chair of the Fraser Basin Council, serves on the board of the Institute for Research on Public Policy, and is active as a community volunteer. For her lifelong public service, she has received 3 honorary degrees and was named to the Order of BC. Madam Chancellor, in recognition of her enduring commitment and contributions to the people of our province, I ask that you now confer upon Janet Austin the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Janet Austin, by the virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations. Dr. Austin will be hooded by Dr. Dilson Rassier, Provost and Vice President Academic, and Dr. Dina Shafi, Associate Registrar, Information, Records, and Registration.
It is now with pleasure that I call upon Dr. Austin to provide the convocation address. Dr. Austin.
Thank you, Joy.
And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Gosh, you know, these hats are kind of hard to control. It keeps like sliding down my forehead, so I'm going to do my best with it. Chancellor Vrooman, President Johnson, elders, graduands, and families, friends, all. I, too, would like to acknowledge the Coast Salish peoples, the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh, and Coquitlam, upon whose traditional territory we gather today, and to thank them for sharing these lands in peace and friendship. Aitzquaicho Schelacha Aikwanas Kwanangahela, which is, good day, friends. It's wonderful to be among you today, and I do mean that so very sincerely. I want to start just by expressing my thanks to Chancellor Vrooman for her extraordinary service to SFU as Chancellor over the past 6 years, and to note as well that she concludes her term as Chancellor this week. And so I would like to ask all of you just to join me in giving her a really resounding round of applause for her exceptional service to this university. it is a particular honor for me to receive this honor from Tamara and from Joy Johnson, both people I hold in highest regard and whom I'm proud to claim as good personal friends. So thank you both so very much. To all the graduands that we celebrate today, please accept my heartfelt congratulations on your accomplishments. I am deeply honored to count myself among you. And although my degree has come by way of life experience, rather than through coursework, exams, or long nights of study, I accept it with gratitude and humility and with keen awareness of the responsibility that it confers. That is, of course, the responsibility to continue learning, to serve others, and to contribute to a more just and sustainable world. And we have certainly heard this expressed in the most compelling of terms by Alexander a few moments ago. So I thank you, Alexander, for your remarks as well. There are many things that I love about SFU, and I've had the privilege of working with faculty and staff over the years on many issues that we share a deep concern and care deeply about. But I'm going to say that I especially love SFU's wonderfully radical activist history, which is all about the revolutionary impulse to make things better. SFU's founders challenged convention, not for the sake of disruption, but because they believed that knowledge carries with it a responsibility to make the world more just, more equitable, and more humane. The SFU of today, we call the Engaged University, is a mature manifestation of all that is good in that revolutionary impulse. The idea that knowledge should serve society and engage with real-world problems, that intellectual inquiry should challenge power, authority, and the status quo, that advances come not through unanimity of opinion, but through the courageous exchange of ideas, always leavened with a willingness to be changed by what we hear. If there's one thing my years on earth have taught me, it is that all fields of knowledge are connected, and that there is no one perfect right way to do things, and no one person or discipline has all the answers. And surely, if we surround ourselves only with people who share our views, we're only talking to ourselves, and that takes us nowhere. So in this time of increasing polarization, it is all too easy to sort ourselves into camps of certainty, where we seek not to welcome opposing views, but to silence them. But when I think of the leaders and the innovators I most admire, people like Chancellor Tamara and President Joy, I'm struck by the quality of open-hearted reciprocity that enables them to engage deeply and authentically with others whose views are different. It takes courage and humility to listen with genuine curiosity and to replace the temptation to judge and convince with a desire to understand. In our best moments, it is that expansive openness that enables us to refine our views, to become more generous and less judgmental of others, and to find those places of compromise in the spaces in between our differences. And perhaps in this world that rewards interruption over attention, the most radical act in our time is neither speaking, nor protesting, nor arguing, nor debating, but listening. Listening with sufficient humility to discover that we may not possess the whole truth, and that we have much to learn from others whose views and experience are different. Now, I am not saying that protest and debate are unimportant. They are critical skills, and they can be transformative, as we have seen throughout history. So that is not my point. But what I am saying is that the power and the impact of our own voices will be enhanced and heightened if we learn to listen for the meaning beneath the words of others, and if we pay our interlocutors the respect of really hearing them. Today, as we find ourselves graduating into a world of accelerating complexity, I'm reminded of this saying, I don't know to whom it should be attributed, For every complex problem, there is a simple, wrong solution. Sadly, there are no easy answers to the challenges before us, but that does not mean that we are without ideas and agency and a realistic sense of hope for the future. Now, I'm invoking the word hope intentionally, but advisedly, because I want to be clear that hope is not blind optimism or the passive idea that things will simply work out. Rather, it is the active conviction that with courage and ambition, we can claim the agency to make things better. And so I ask you to remember that the future is not something we passively enter, it is something we create. The choices we make now will shape the world for all who come after us, for better or for worse. So why not make it for better? And that is my call to action for you today. I ask you to answer that call in big ways and in small, with compassion and generosity, and with all your strengths of heart and mind, knowing that the future depends on us. And finally, I ask you to take with you Nietzsche's famous invocation to dream no small dreams, for they have no power to stir the soul. Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to stir the soul. I repeat my congratulations to all the graduates here today, and I am so honored to be among you, and I will now say, live long and prosper, dear friends, by all means, but also, I hope that you will make it a goal to do some good in the world. HKCM, congratulations all.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Austin, for reminding us that all issues are complex, about the importance of listening, but also in particular the importance of hope and making a difference in the world. So thank you ever so much. And we are so pleased that you are now an alumni of Simon Fraser University. It's fantastic. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and we take immense pride in welcoming all of our graduates to this vibrant community. And I'm delighted to invite Pamela Yoon, who earned a Bachelor's of Arts degree in 1993, majoring in economics, to formally welcome the graduates. Please join me in welcoming Pamela.
Thank you, President Johnson, and good morning, fellow alumni. Congratulations to all of you. Today, you officially join SFU's global alumni community with 200,000 plus members in more than 145 countries. The same passion, energy, and creativity that propelled us at SFU continues to drive us in all that we do today. We're committed to making a difference and to building a future that is more inclusive and sustainable. You are now ambassadors for SFU, wherever life takes you. Along your journeys, you will also inspire current and future SFU students to dream, to excel, and to fulfill their own purpose. We're here for you as you move forward and excited to see what you will accomplish. We encourage you to stay connected to SFU and take advantage of more opportunities to learn and grow. As a proud and engaged alum, and an award donor, I'm especially proud this convocation to see two of my award winners of the Pamela Yoon Award in Economics receive their degrees, Julia Rappaport and Mitchell Gibbs. Following today's ceremony, please visit the alumni booth in the AQ Gardens or your faculty reception to pick up your SFU alumni graduation pin and keep it as a symbol of your incredible achievements and connections to SFU. Congratulations again, and welcome to SFU's outstanding community of alumni.
Thank you so much, Pamela, for those words and also for your generosity to Simon Fraser University. So now, the members of the graduating class are going to be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. So here's the question, graduates. Are you ready? I'm sorry, the Chancellor doesn't think you're ready. I gotta ask again. We gotta get this right now. Are you ready? Okay, we got the A-OK from Chancellor Vrooman. So, will the graduates please rise if you are able? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the regulatory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university and request that you confer upon them the degrees for which they are now recommended.
Thank you, President Johnson. Before I begin the formal part of the graduation ceremonies where I confer the degrees on you, I would invite you to draw your attention to the blue caps that most of you are wearing. Each cap has a tassel, in your case hanging to the right, which signifies at this very moment you are still a student. But in a few seconds, after I admit you to your degrees, I invite you to move the tassel from the right to the left, as mine is, to signify that you have graduated and this important moment. So, third time's a charm. Are you ready? Excellent. By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Congratulations. Please be seated.
The members of the graduating class here in Convocation Mall will now be presented individually to the Chancellor. But first, a few requests for those of you who are in the mall today. Today is a day for celebration. Family and friends, we welcome you to applaud, to cheer, yes, to share the joy you have for your graduate as they cross the stage. But as a courtesy to others, we would ask that you please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony. Graduates, after you cross the stage, I would invite the doctoral graduates to join their colleagues on the platform. And to all other honored graduates, and this is very important, out of respect for your peers, please return and remain in your seat until the end of the ceremony. Please think of those whose last names start with Y or Z. They're sitting back there. And please, let's give them the same care and attention as those who cross the stage first. And so, the moment we've all been waiting for, the degrees of the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences will now be presented.
Madam Chancellor, the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences will now be presented. Dr. Asraf Guddin Ahmed, supervised by Dr. Chris Bidner. Dr. Uzair Azmat, supervised by Dr. Kenneth Causa. Dr. Sizi Deng, supervised by Dr. Ho Henny Young. Dr. Jeff Xie, supervised by Dr. Krishna Pedekar. Dr. Zhen Huang, supervised by Dr. Simon Woodcock. Dr. Timothy Vanderbrink, supervised by Dr. Remy Lager. And Dr. Wei Yuan, supervised by Dr. Cynthia Patton. Madam Chancellor, the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences will now be presented. Zuhai Akai. Kaylee James Emmett,son Hannah Barham. Aizaz Berzorgzadeh. Jacob Bugaine. Rincy Dominic Kalamba. Fatime Elahi. Safdar Jan. Abigail Jacoby. Arthur Jim. Monique Joseph. Saba Misbahi. Niat Ogbazgi. Tatiana Parrish. Amelia Petch. Ha-Un Shim. Marcus Grossi. Alyssa Zandvliet. Madam Chancellor, the graduates of bachelor's degrees in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences will now be presented. Justin Ashadina. Shahan Ahmed. Syed Amir Ahmed. Nafisa Ali. Mamda Al-Mughrabi. Cheng Hao An. Harshil Arora. Ilyas Abakirov. Rebecca Ballard. Don Juan Stephanie Banigu. Jalen Bands. Megan Priya Bazran. Nicolo Eduardo Bellatani. Johannes Benatti. Atika Bamji. Isaac Byron. Jack Blake. Viet Hung Bui. Mira Butt. Shiying Tsai. Jose Maria Castro. Shabazz Chahal. Kira Chan. Kravini Dia Chand. Sophia Chasomeris. Winnie Chen. Curtis Chung. Renee Hugh Kwan Chu. Annika Clark. Nicole Croson. Brianne Cudmore. Priyesh Ramesh Dangaria. Louisa David. Dushant Douglas. Daniel Drysdale. Katie Duchak. Benit Dooley. Eric Nicholas Dye. Oran Edis. Hannah N. El Hilo. Juan Pablo Elizondo Castillo. Julia Enriquez. Luci Ann Seglin Apo Fabian. Tony Fei Zhao. Brienne Philippe. Ethan Fujikawa. Aries Feng. Da Wei Gao. Jasraj Garsha. Amrinder Gill. Baldeep Gill. Ashleen Grewal. Zia Grewal. Alexandra Grigorov. Layla Gronestad. Sing Guan. Nazneen Golzar. Lauren Gunster. Prem Hare. Sabrine Hare. Emerson Heed. Justine Henriquez. Yu Jung Ho. Alexander Hodley. Jung Brian Hu. Elizabeth Huang. Rajan Hulait. Huang An Tu Huin. Akira Ayatel. Emily Isaacson. Neha Alicia Ismail. Hamza Faisal Isa. Zain Ali Jagani. Manan Jain. Ethan Jakubik. Abigail Jensens. Navreet Johal. Emma Joy Johnson. Ariel Jonathan. Brian Joseph. Benit Kaloa. Jamie Cambo. George Kantarakis. Demetrius Karaboidis. Nicholas Karpa. Kashay Izone Kelsik. Ravneet Kun Kun. April Kornitsky. Ashwin Kumar. Irna Korchaninova. Yiling Lai. Lamia Lakdawala. Zachary Likos. Chi Long Lung. Yanting Lung. Alexandra Lee Lam. Hongwen Lee. Panying Alex Lee. Tylun Lee. Zhuo Li. Kaixin Liang. Lin Yifeng. Shichen Liu. Rini Liu. Tianyi Liu. Jeremy Lewis. Gordon Liu Zhenlong. Johnson Liu. Yiling Ma. Zaman Maharali. Jiahui Mai. Alev Maliki. Tricia Marie Manejero. Navjot Mangat. Gabriela Bonita Margadana. Anna Maria Madan. Jia Liang Mei. Kaylee Meredith. Muhammad Shamas Fati. Kiana Montaka. Kyron Munro. Bhavana Murugavel. Shanjanrika Mavgi. Carolus Michaelitis. Vikramjit Singh Nannar. Kushi Nanda. Emma Nash. Robert Newman. Sophia Neveduk. Ihe Sebastian Ung. Ali Nguyen. Hongman Nguyen. Lin Nguyen. Zishun Nie. Amol Niger. Declan O'Connor. Hunter Oten. Gretchen Ocampo. Olivia Ogilvie. Caden Palmer. Kanan Panchal. Haotian Pang. Hyungju Park. Jeevan Parmar. Reva Parmar. Marina Peralta Toms. Pham Long Huai Nam. Tan Vivian Van An. Janelle Pilgrim. Mia Veronica Price. Benjamin Kwan. Mustafa Ramadan. Kolmul Hakbir Randawa. Julia Laura Rappaport. Durjapal Sarkar. Jada Shilke. Anna Scalacci Ventura. Harvi Manish Kumar Shah. Nikita Shalega. C.U. Shang. Danya Saad Shita. Wenyu Shi. Karandeep Sidhu. Rochelle Small. Nicole Danielle Smythe. Maria Alexandra Sona. Arman Such. Fiona So. Jade Stevenson. Jade Stevenson. Jocelyn Stevens. Sadie Stoddard. Riley Storms. Emma Strang. Ray Sun. Jordan Swisher. Christian Tate. Angela Ya Tang. Aditya Tanwar. Nobuhle Gladys Tavonesa. Jose Maria Teleg. Cheng Kang Tian. Yi He Tian. Veronica Tisha. Mary Toma. Christian Torres Barrera. Jadalyn Torres Aliangan. Jake Tuff. Quinn Duk Chan. Ryan Chong. Jessica Sigavos. Simone Tutt. Marina Van Woudenberg. Kennedy Vanderweerd. Isha Verma. Ria Verma. Benjamin Villacorta Chu. Harshil Rajnikant Visaria. Jacob Wadvani. Eitan Weisfeld. Ali Walker King. Chao Wong. Pengjie Wang. Paul Wickens. Tristan Wolf. Melissa Wong. Yathei Wong Hasten. Natalie Yan. Jingyu Yang. Ignacio Ying Yu. Charlotte Young. Sada Zahirovich. Hong Hao Zhai. Kathy Zhang. Jiaqi Zhang. Rongjun Zhang. Xumei Zhang. Yu Zhang. Rita Zhen. Natalia Zuluagda Godoy. Olivia Zuzolo. Madam Chancellor, the students who have completed the requirements for diplomas and certificates in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences will now be presented. Gordon Anthony. Candace Anthony Jules. Cadence Anthony Jules. Bonnie August. Cade Baker. Marilyn Bellew. Julia Clissold. Dantry Derbyshire Joseph. Jordan Dawson. Kamel Denman. Myrtle Johnson. Gina Johnston Hall. Nsahepa Mayos Kyle Leonard Lawrence. Alvin Martin. LaShann Marion. Mia Munier. Jennifer Nahani. Haliet Natrell. Rose Probst. Equance Richard Billy. Roxanne Johnson. Jacinta Sampson. And Stephanie Wood.
Well, thank you to everyone who is cheering and applauding our wonderful graduands. And I would ask now for the graduands to please rise if you are able, including our graduands on the platform. I am so very honored that you're here with us today, and I want to congratulate each and every one of you. The completion of a degree is an impressive achievement, and I encourage your friends and family to communicate their hearty congratulations to you by whatever means. And for those of you online, in the mall, and on the platform, please join me in applauding the June 2026 graduates. And now I invite you, the members of the graduating class, to reciprocate by applauding your family, your friends, the faculty, staff, and everyone who helped you along the way. Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, Madam President. This completes the formal awarding of degrees. Some graduands recommended by Senate for degrees today are unable to be present, and therefore their names have not been read out. I now admit them to their degrees as shown in the program. Please join me in congratulating your colleagues in absentia. This brings to a close this morning's convocation celebration. But before we go, I'd like to take a moment to thank the many volunteers, staff, and faculty who work so hard to make sure that this morning's celebration is a special one. Please join me in thanking all of the volunteers who worked hard for us this morning. Honored graduates, family, and friends, you're now invited to attend your faculty reception, where we look forward to continuing the celebration. Once again, class of 2026, congratulations. Please rise if you are able and remain standing in your places as the platform party behind me recesses. Once again, thank you for joining us this morning. I bid you good day.
Congratulations once again to today's graduates. Our ceremony has now come to a close. For the safety of all in attendance and to reduce crowding, we will exit Convocation Mall beginning with the graduates at the front and our guests seated at the middle and back. Our ushers will help you out of the mall row by row. Please remain standing if you're able until an usher cues your row to exit. Graduates in the front rows and guests in the back and middle rows, please proceed with exiting now. Thank you once again for your cooperation and for attending today's ceremony.
Don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I where I live. Hope that you spend your days, but they all add up.